Going on, Aberrant Garage fans? I'm Anthony, and in this episode of Aberrant Garage, I want to talk a little bit about who we are and what we at Aberrant Garage are all about.
What are you doing in there? There they go.
So, what is Aberrant Garage? Simply put, it's the next step in realizing my teenage dreams. Ever since I was in high school, I've dreamed about every aspect of off-road, from rock crawling to carving the dunes out in Pismo, riding trails, building awesome machines, and testing them to their limits, and most importantly, racing. Now, that being said, just because my interests start in the dirt doesn't mean that they're only in the dirt. I'm also a huge fan of everything automotive, whether it's hot rods, muscle cars, whatever. I've dreamt about building awesome rides my entire life, and really Aberrant is just the next step in doing that. All right, you might be saying to yourself right now, Anthony, so what? What's the big deal? Everybody has dreams, right? And you're not wrong. We all should have dreams, and we all should have things that we look forward to that motivate us, inspire us in our day-to-day lives. But at some point, we also got to work to transition those from dreams into realities, right? I mean, that's why they're dreams. We want them to be a part of our everyday life. The problem is oftentimes we hang on to those dreams for too long before they actually make that transition. I mean, I've been holding on to wanting to get involved in the off-road community and the racing community for more than 20 years. That's a long time, and it's long overdue to actually start making that from a dream into a reality. While doing some research and some thinking on how can I do that, how can I take my dreams and actually make them a reality for me, I came across a quote from a man named Harvey McKay, and he says that goals are dreams with plans and deadlines, and I couldn't agree more with that sentiment. I mean, we have to find a plan to put our dreams into action, but if we don't give them a deadline, then they just stay dreams. They just stay dragging on forever. We don't hold ourselves accountable to where we're going. And the thing that I have to be careful of, because I fell into a pitfall with this line of thinking last year. I made a goal that was so big, that was so massive, it was just completely overwhelming, and I fell apart. So last year I decided I wanted to make an effort to start turning my dreams into realities. My wife and I, we set out and built all sorts of cool graphics for our social media, for YouTube. We started making t-shirt designs, everything. And we were going to start a channel. We were going to start turning that dream into a reality. The problem was I had followed several channels that made really high quality videos, generally about 30 minutes, sometimes as much as 45, other times 25 minutes long. And I found them very informational, very entertaining, but they had been doing this for several years, and they had a system figured out. They knew how that they were going to go out and shoot their footage and how they were going to assemble their story and present it on YouTube, right? But I hadn't done that. I hadn't been out there putting the time in, working with the camera and working with the software to do all the editing and stuff like that. And so I found myself in a place where I became very overwhelmed. The idea of constantly coming up with content and how am I going to make these awesome, very visually satisfying videos became just so overwhelming that I gave up. I mean, instead of producing content, I resorted to just consuming it. All I did was watch stuff, and I never went out and filmed. Over the last year, I watched several channels go from being an automotive channel, they're doing builds in their driveways and their garages and stuff like that, and then they moved either out onto a rural property somewhere where they a huge garage or shop on the property, or they found a place downtown where they could actually move all of their stuff into a shop downtown and continue building their dreams and realities in a shop setting. Every time I'd see one of these channels make a move like that, I rejoiced for them. I was so happy to see their successes. But at the same time, it ate me up inside, because I knew if I just would get up off the couch, I could do so much more. But I always felt overwhelmed by the idea of generating content, of having quality videos without having the experience on how to do it. All right, so I know that last year I said, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna do this YouTube thing. I'm gonna start putting together some awesome videos, super high quality, this, that, and the other, right? Well, the problem is I didn't have the experience to put out the quality of videos that I wanted, and so I became overwhelmed and I gave up. What's gonna make this year different? Well, what's gonna make this year different is this year I'm committed to learning. I'm committed to learning the process. I want to learn better ways to come up with content. I want to learn better ways to set up shots. I want to learn better ways to bring you guys the information that will help you. Will they be the highest quality videos? Probably not. Will they be created with the best cameras and gear that the market has to offer? No. But that's okay. I don't know how to use that stuff anyway, if I'm being honest. And so this year is a year for learning. All right, so now that I've said all of that, we're back to our original question. What is Aberrant Garage? We envision Aberrant Garage as a place of information and inspiration. Over the course of the year coming up, we've got several builds that I think you're going to think are really cool. But we're going to throw in a little bit of a twist, a curveball into our builds, because we like to be, just a little bit different. That being said, we take things like old Chevys and we throw solid axles under them and make them ready to go rock crawling. Or we've even got an idea to take an old VW and rat rod it out, do a chop top on it and then give it 4-wheel drive and take it out and go run in the desert with it. On this channel, we're going to be detailing our builds, our projects, and the upgrades to those builds and projects as time goes on. While things are going to be mostly centered off-road, we also do have some sweet street builds that we're going to be doing as well. All right, so we also are going to be sharing our builds, our projects, and upgrades that we do to those builds and projects with you. We're going to take them out once they're done, and we're going to test them. Whether it's taking that Suburban and going out and thrashing in some rocks or a gnarly trail with it, or taking a road trip with a street build. We're going to get out and we're going to use these things. We're actually going to test them. We also want to do like part reviews and gear and tools and stuff that we're using or have used, and talk about what we like about them, what we don't. We want to be transparent with you guys on that stuff. We're here probably in the next week or so. We're going to do a walk around on that Suburban, talk about the parts that we used to build it. I mean, the build for that thing started about 2.5 years ago. We've been driving it for almost 2 years now, and we definitely have some things that we found that we like and that we don't like. And we want to talk about that stuff and share that with you, because that thing has been a hot topic for me on other forms of social media. So we want to get the word out about this thing, and that way it can help you guys in your own builds. We also plan on kicking off a street build here real soon. That thing's going to be super sweet. It's got a lot of value sentimentally to me and my family, and I can't wait to get that build started. And probably around the same time that we're kicking that one off, we are looking at doing a build of a go-kart for my son. He got to go on a side-by-side at a desert race recently, and that kid has been super fired up about getting his own buggy and getting out and romping around and doing his own thing. And so we're going to build him a go-kart that can grow with him in age and skill, something that we can just constantly upgrade for him until he outgrows it and we actually get him into either a buggy, a sandrail, or a side-by-side or something like that. But we are super excited to start that project. He's super amped up about it. and we want to share the whole process with you. Y'all, I can't express how excited I am for this next year coming up. We've got a lot of things that we're going to be doing, like I said, and we have so much that we want to share with you. So I'm going to ask, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. That way you don't miss out on any of the action that we've got coming up this year. Also, drop us a comment. Let us know some of the stuff that you've been looking for in a YouTube channel. You know, we're just really getting started with this, and we want to bring you the content that you want to see. If that's super detailed information on the parts that we're using, or if you're looking for in-depth tutorials on how to do some of the things that we're going to be doing here coming up, please let us know. That way we can set that up for you guys. I can't promise that we'll get to everything, and it might take us a little while to get to some stuff, but we'll do the best we can to bring you what you want. Also, please share our video with your friends and your family. The increased viewership helps us out a ton, and if you would like to help support the channel, please check out our shop at aberrantgarage.com. Y'all, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you back soon.